Good evening, everyone. I'm Captain Noah Link. Welcome to this edition of Noah's Ark Fishing and Shop Talk. This evening, we're going to be talking about the fall fishing season, the winter season coming up. It's just getting started. The speckled trout fishing and gray trout fishing. We just call it sea trout for that matter. We do have both species, and I'd like to throw red drum into that category as well because they're going to be hitting the same baits. But I'm going to be talking about the areas we do it, what we use, the rods we use, the line we use, tides, everything that goes into catching speckled trout, gray trout in the area that I'm in. Everybody can be doing things different, so this is the way that I do it in my area, and I am based out of Cape Lookout, North Carolina, actually on Harkers Island, North Carolina, Cape Point Marina. And I'm fishing the Cape Lookout, Beaufort, Harkers Island area, and all the areas in between, the marsh areas, the ocean, everywhere. And just going to be talking about trout. It's been a great start to the fall season the last week or two. A lot of fish showing up in the ocean, around bridges, in the marshes, things like that. It's starting to really turn on good. So let's get into this, and I'm going to start out with soft plastics and what I use. As you can probably see from the back wall here, I do use the bait fuel products. I've used pretty much everything coming and going, but these new products are they're just too hard to beat, and jumped on the opportunity to work with these folks. But these are really good bait fuel. This is the gold glitter shrimp, and these right here are the black gold twitch baits, jerk baits. Super good. As you can see, they come in a lot of different patterns, colors, from twister tails to shrimp, but they're extremely good. Latest in scent technology. It doesn't have any juice in it. It's all infused into the product when it's done. It doesn't shrink, doesn't smell bad. Everything is geared towards the fish, and definitely they can tell it. They love this stuff. But going forward, so when I'm fishing these soft plastics in a current, I'm going to be, first when I pull up, I'm going to be looking at the current, and I'll be able to gauge right away how heavy of a jig head that I'm going to need to use. So say that I arrive and the tide's just changing, it's just starting to fall, it's right where I want it. So I'm going to be throwing these, something in the 1/8 to 1/4 ounce. Not a lot of current moving, so I don't need it real heavy. Everything's working great, we're catching fish. Well, then the tide starts picking up, starts falling quicker. Well, as it does that, it takes that bait and it sweeps it up higher in the water column. So I'm going to switch out to 3/8 or a 1/2 ounce jig head that's going to keep it down deeper where those fish are feeding. It's not going to sweep it as hard. And after a while, it's going to get to a point where they just quit feeding as the tide gets rolling too hard. But it's definitely something to think about. You've got to stay on top of it. You got to keep that bait where those fish are feeding in that zone. So it's just something to think about when you're throwing soft plastics on jig heads. And next, I'd like to talk about one of the favorites of mine, and pretty much everybody in the trout fishing community is MirrOlures. And the guys down at MirrOlure, they're great. Make some really good baits. And one of my favorite all times is the soft dean, the MirrOlure. I really like this bait. I got to where I can work it good, and this is one of the hard baits that I like. You could go on and on about their baits, but these are two fairly common MirrOlures for trout fishing. And one thing that I get a lot of people tell me that how do I catch fish on MirrOlures? What are you doing? And basically what it comes down to is what they're doing. The reason they're not catching fish on these MirrOlures is the fact that they're moving them too quick. I tell them, look, if you think it's going too slow, slow it down some more, because These are highly effective baits, but you barely need to move them. If you're moving them too quick, they're not going to eat. They don't want it. It doesn't look natural to them. So you got to really slow it down and give it very subtle little twitches. And you know, if you'll do that and routinely practice at it, it takes practice to use these lures. You're not going to go out the first time and figure it out. So you got to give them a chance. But they're highly effective at trout fishing. These guys make some of the best for sure. Moving on, another really good long time practice around here when people were fishing over hard structure, things like that. And also, this is a great tool for folks that are beginning to trout fish, is the popping cork. As you can see, this one is well used. It's one of my favorites, but I like the real flexible one. These ones here are made by Redline Rigs out of North Carolina, and they just make a really good high quality popping cork, and it's one of my favorites. But what I do, I rig this for the depth of water that I'm in. So this one's probably rigged for maybe fishing 3.5, 4 foot of water, so it's not that deep. And what I do, I just rig an 1/8 ounce egg sinker there, and this is my little live shrimp imitation. It's a pretty good one actually. It's a savage shrimp, just a little guy, but we're hooking them right through the horn like that so they stay alive, doesn't kill them, and it keeps it down. Because if you don't have this little weight right there, in my experience, that shrimp will come to the top. And there's times when the trout will come up, just hammer them. And you're going to catch drum on these too, and some flounder as well. This isn't just for trout, but this is great for beginners. You create a lot of disturbance and noise with this popping cork. As you can see, it every time you pop it, it's going to do that noise and throw water. So this is a really good tool to use, like I say, around round structure, and you can make the leader as long or short as you need. And round oyster beds where you don't want to get hung up, super good thing to try. Soft plastics, live bait, you can use shrimp, mud minnows, whatever you want pretty much on this. Or as I have this rigged up right here, you can just rig it up with soft plastics. So super good method. And all these work. You just got to give them time. You got to work at it. Trout fishing doesn't happen overnight. Everybody can have success. You could have success the first time and go out and not catch any more for a while, and you get discouraged. But that's what keeps people coming back. It's like a cult following to catch these fish. So it takes time, it takes a lot of patience. And the line going forward here, the line that I'm using is I'm using 12-pound fins, wind tamer. I might go down to 10 sometimes during trout season. Don't want to go too low in case I hook into a nice red or something like that. And the leader I'm using probably about 12 to 15 pound fluorocarbon, fairly light but still good and strong. And what that does is that gives me gives the lure a really good action. If you can go up to 20 or 25, I don't know, to me it gives it a little bit of a stiff action on it. As far as the rods go that I'm using, a lot of folks already know. For those that don't, I use all Star rods. This is Star Plasma. And what I do is I'm using a, say, 7 foot, which is a very common length for people. I'm going to be using, if I'm just fishing trout, I'm going to be using the 4 to 10 pound spinning rod, the light action, 7 foot. And also I'm going to bump up to this. This is a 7/6 4 to 10 pounds. So like for those days that I need to make a really long cast, I don't want to get in too close to an area, and I want to be able to cover a lot of ground, this 7/6 is going to let me get an extra probably 15 yards cast than the 7 foot 4 to 10 pounds. It's got a lot of whip in it, really good sensitive tip. So this is something to think about there. There's a lot of different scenarios that go into play with trout fishermen, and these are honestly just a few of them. The reels I'm using, this is an Okuma ITX CB. I'm using 3000s, 2500s, but a small, nice, smooth reel, yet something large enough that if you do hook a big trout or a good sized red, which you will do, trout fishing over time. So, you know, something that you can handle it all with is what you're looking for. So I hope that everyone kind of gets a little bit of something out of this. We never have as much time as we could spend. Could spend all day talking about trout, but all I can say is, you know, don't give up. Talk to people who are catching them using the different baits that you want to use, and don't give up. Get out there and try it and work it, and because tides matter depending on where the area you're fishing. Need to just kind of get it dialed in on the different tides, winds, time of the year, all of that. Takes a lot of time, so you know, get out there and get after it. Catch some trout. Enjoy yourself above all else. And I thank you once again. I'm Captain Noah Link with Noah's Ark Fishing and this edition of Shop Talk. You all have a great evening, and we will see you next time.